Hello, friends and family from around the world. This is Mike with Daily Events Worldwide, and we are on March 15th, 2025. Welcome to another surviving day on the planet, and welcome to the Daily Do, giving you your space weather update as well earthquakes, volcanoes, and world weather. Always starting out here looking at the last 48 hours on our sun, as we did have that big plasma filament erecting from the surface of our sun in the equatorial region. Big plasma loop there showcased early this morning, as well a couple plasma filaments taking off from our sun. Amazing images here looking at the last 48 hours incoming as we have quite a sunspot frenzy developing and cresting into view a lot of activity. So stay tuned, stay aware and prepared with daily events worldwide, keeping humanity safe and healthy with the awareness of our sun today. That's the last 48 hours outgoing, not much activity there. Looking at multi-spectrum, pointing out the last 48 hours of events, and as well in the bottom left-hand corner showing the magnetic field of our sun during the coronal hole wind stream event, which we are still experiencing. Solar winds over 500 kilometers per second still from that southern coronal hole region. Another one building, last few images in the equatorial region. Having a look here, 171 angstroms, just amazing images of a sunspot frenzy going on our sun right now. All these images brought to you by Solar Dynamics Observatory, mixed with daily events worldwide, and thank you so much for pressing play. Having a look now at the active sunspots right now on our sun in motion, as we did have a pretty fast forming Earth-facing sunspot region right there just in the past 6 hours. And right now, there are 13 sunspots. Definitely going to be keeping an eye on the grouping that is turning in right now. 13 sunspots. 4019, looking very complex. And as well, the big grouping here, 4030 and 4028. Definitely going to be keeping an eye on it. All of a sudden, a sunspot frenzy at the end of a solar cycle here. Peak of a solar cycle, I mean. Current space weather conditions, minor radio blackout impacts. Solar winds are coming in at 518 kilometers per second. Solar X-ray flux. Minor M-class solar flare detected early today. Other than that, it's been in the C range. Proton flux is low. Geomagnetic activity dropping down to a KP2 after being up to a KP6 just a couple days ago. Having a look here at the Space Weather Prediction Center, showing their space weather spiral. No new coronal mass ejections, but there is some activity heading our way. Nothing major. LASCO 3, let's show the last 48 hours of cosmic energies leaving our sun. Most recent plasma filament eruptions are responsible for that most recent coronal mass ejection. Coming from the bottom right-hand corner of our sun here. Imagery brought to you by LASCO. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet, but we have, again, multiple sunspot regions to keep an eye on over the next 2 days. Tonight's aurora view line and tomorrow's, expecting a KP4 for tonight, so look up on the west coast. Now let's get to earthquakes, as we did just have a pretty sizable deep earthquake, 4.7, but 630 kilometer depth. That matches the depth of the earthquake that hit Peru just a few days ago. Largest earthquake past 24 hours is 6.0 in the South Sandwich Islands region, north of the Michael volcano. And then across Indonesia, and as well Krakatoa, 4.9 there, Sumatra, Papua New Guinea active, Marianas Trench, 4.8, 4.5 there, northern Japan. Notable 4.4 earthquake west of the Hawaiian Ocean view, Hawaii, 4.4, 36 kilometer depth. All of a sudden going quiet in Alaska. And look at all this minor seismicity across North American plate. Notable McGee, Mississippi, 3.0 magnitude, as well as 2.8. Glen Elder, Kansas, and Stanton, Texas, 2.6. Sizable 5.6 earthquake here, San Miguel, Mexico, 63-kilometer depth, close to the Popocatépetl volcano. Lots of activity through the Caribbean plate, and as well Colombia with a 4.5, Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, 3.9, and notable activity South American plate as well. Chile, deep earthquakes, notable earthquakes here as well. Italy, Lesina, Italy, 5.0 yesterday reported, and as well the 4.0. But today, right by the Campi Flegrei volcano, Procida, Italy, reporting a 3.2 tremor. Nothing major. Notable 4.3 there, earthquake, Kuwait. And this is a look at the last 7 days for shakers and movers around the world, largest being the 6.0 that struck South Sandwich Islands, and as well the 6.0 that struck Svalbard towards the North Pole in the past 7 days. Deepest being the 630-kilometer depth earthquake today, and as well deep one, Peru, last week. If you live in an earthquake-prone zone, just be ready, have a plan. Hashtag no fear here, just aware and prepared. And thanks again for pressing play, everybody. Appreciate your loyalty, love, and patience during this transition on this channel. Having a look now at the air quality forecast brought to you by active and erupting volcanoes. This is showing the SO2 content and forecast for the next 3 days. Active players, Hawaii, Mexico, Kamchatka, Japan, and as well Mariana Islands. Other than that, no new major eruptions, but still some nasty air quality all across the northern hemisphere from the eruptions in Kamchatka, eastern Russia, last week. Overlooking the southern hemisphere, notable plumes coming out of Reunion Island, east of Madagascar. And then overlooking here, the Atlantic and Africa. Things have seem to have calmed down through parts of Central Africa and as well Somalia. Now let's get to world weather, as we had quite an interesting extreme weather event sweep across the nation. Expect that to continue tonight. Next low pressure system will be coming in Wednesday to Thursday. Snow on the backside of that system as some chilly air is still funneling down from Canada. You're welcome. Watch for all these lows, multiple to come through this week before a high pressure ridge builds in and another Alberta clipper decides to dump a little bit of snow before the end of the month. Overlooking at Europe, Africa, Southeast Asia, and parts of Australia. A notable cyclone that is affecting southern Madagascar will be scooting away towards Antarctica, and as well watching the long-range forecast, could see 2 pretty strong systems affecting Northern Territory of Australia. Pretty strong system northwest, and as well coming into Queensland. And now let's look at the Pacific Ocean, as the rain train will be affecting British Columbia, Washington, and Oregon, and as far south as Northern California. Over the next few days, multiple systems coming through, and some pretty chilly ones at that. Snow on the backside. Winter's not over yet. We've still got at least 5 more days until the first day of spring. Stay tuned. Should be an interesting outro to winter 2025. Now let's have a look at our upper level winds, showing our polar vortex as it has completely split. Showed that just a couple days ago, but it has changed already. Look at the wicked, wild winds swirling around our northern hemisphere right now, getting ready to flip to the southern hemisphere for the winter months in the southern hemisphere. But it's interesting what's happening to our world, because these are some intense upper level winds due to multiple coronal holes that we've been dealing with from our sun over the past 3 months. The velocity, the electric currents are shifting They're also getting stronger. This is our up-level winds last year at this time. And today. Quite a drastic difference between last year and this year. Stay tuned, my friends and family. Lots of information shared here today. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, spike the like. Stay aware and prepared. Stay young and have fun. And get your daily dew.